You know, computers are talking to us all the time. But how? I mean, it's not just through the screen you're looking at right now. It's the sound in your headphones, maybe it's even the vibration from your phone. Today, we're going to decode the language of output devices. It seems like a simple question, right? But the answer is literally all around us. Your computer is constantly pushing out information, and it needs special tools to translate its digital language into something we humans can actually see, hear, or even feel. Okay, so here's the official definition, but really, you can just think of an output device as a translator. It's that vital piece of hardware that takes the silent, invisible world of ones and zeros buzzing inside your computer and turns it into something we can understand. The text, the images, the sounds that make up our digital world. All right, let's start with the basics, the outputs that are so common, so integrated into our lives that we barely even notice them anymore. I'm talking about the everyday sights and sounds that bring our digital world to life. Yeah, for pretty much all of us, this is our main gateway to the digital universe. The monitor is the canvas where absolutely everything happens, from your work emails to, well, the very explainer you're watching right now. And wow, the journey of the monitor is it's incredible. It all started with these huge, bulky cathode ray tubes back in the 1890s, which eventually became the face of early computing. But the real story here is the constant, relentless push to make them smaller, brighter, and way more efficient. That's what took us from those heavy boxes to the paper-thin, brilliant screens we have today. And these technologies, they've completely changed the game. We went from looking at simple, kind of fuzzy text to these mind-blowing 8K resolutions. Now, screens literally curve to pull us into the action. They respond to our touch, and they use tech like OLED to create colors and contrasts that were just unimaginable a few years ago. But hey, output isn't just about what we see. It's also about what we hear. And that's where speakers and headphones come in. They're the ones that turn digital audio signals into actual sound waves, bringing music, podcasts, and movie soundtracks to life. And it really boils down to a simple but crucial distinction, right? Speakers are all about creating a shared public experience, filling a whole room with sound. Headphones, on the other hand, create your own private little audio world. Both are absolutely essential to how we consume media today. And just like with monitors, audio tech is evolving at a wild pace. We've got smart speakers that actually talk back to us, these tiny wireless earbuds with no cables at all, AI that can intelligently erase background noise, and even spatial audio that makes it feel like the sound is coming from all around you. It's amazing. So far, we've really only talked about temporary outputs, pixels on a screen and sound waves in the air. Now let's get into how computers can create something physical, something you can actually pick up and hold in your hands. This is where the printer comes in, and it's basically this magical bridge between the digital world and the physical one. It takes a document or a photo from your screen and creates what we call a hard copy, a real, tangible object on a piece of paper. The idea for a mechanical printer goes way, way back to Charles Babbage and his early computing concepts. But it wasn't until the 1950s that they really became a thing for computers. The invention of the laser printer in '71 was a massive leap forward. And now, we have devices that print, scan, and copy without any wires, and some can even print three-dimensional objects. Now, for the really big jobs, you need something else, a plotter. Think of it like a printer's highly specialized, supersized cousin. It's built for incredible precision and scale, creating those massive, detailed blueprints, maps, and engineering designs that are used to build our world. Okay, so we've covered outputs for our eyes and our ears, and we've even talked about creating physical objects. But what if a computer could communicate through another sense entirely? Let's dive into the world of output that you can actually feel. This is where output devices get really, really interesting. This is where they move beyond our traditional senses of sight and hearing and actually start communicating with us through the sense of touch. And a perfect and honestly an amazing example is a Braille output device. These incredible pieces of hardware, like refreshable displays, can translate text from a screen into raised dots in real time. It's technology that makes the digital world accessible and readable for visually impaired users entirely through touch. You've probably experienced haptic feedback without even knowing what it was called. It's the vibration in your game controller when you crash a car, or that little buzz on your phone when you type. This technology is now expanding into things like full-body haptic suits for virtual reality, letting you literally feel the digital environment around you. So let's just pause and put it all together. If we take a step back, we can group all these devices into four main categories. You've got visual, like your monitor, hard copy, like printers, audio, which covers speakers and headphones, and finally, tactile devices that communicate through touch. And this brings us to our final section, which is where things get wild. This is where all these different forms of output, sight, sound, and touch are starting to merge, creating entirely new immersive realities. We're now at a point where output devices don't just show us information about another place, they're becoming powerful enough to actually take us there. They're blending the digital and physical worlds together in ways we've never seen before. This idea sounds super futuristic, but a VR pioneer named Ivan Sutherland was dreaming about this way back in the 1960s. He imagined an output so powerful it could create a reality that was completely indistinguishable from our own. And honestly, today, we're getting closer to that vision than ever before. This has given us a whole new toolkit for creating these realities. You've got virtual reality, which completely replaces your surroundings with a digital world. Then there's augmented reality, which overlays digital info onto the real world in front of you. And mixed reality tries to blend the two so seamlessly that the digital and physical just become one. And that leaves us with a fascinating, kind of mind-bending final thought. As these tools get more and more powerful and more integrated with our senses, that line between what's digital output and what's our own perceived reality, well, it's starting to get really blurry. What do you think that future is going to look like?